has proven the animated series correctly predicted events like former President Donald Trump taking office.
Tiger trainers based on Siegfried and Roy were mauled on stage. Years later, it happened in real life.
Simpsons have predicted the real-life event in 2006 is going viral on social media.
You know those moments when you're watching The Simpsons and it looks like they just arrived from the future? How come so many of their predictions become true? Remember the Ocean Gate submarine that got destroyed with the 5 billionaires in it?
This morning, some uber-wealthy Americans are making plans to travel to the Titanic wreckage nearly 1 year after the deadly implosion of Ocean Gate's Titan submersible.
That is one of the bizarre predictions the creators of The Simpsons have accurately made. How about the Siegfried Roy tiger attack? These are just a few listings to hint that the creators of The Simpsons know something that we don't. But how is that true? And how are they getting away with this? Join us as we go through the most terrible Simpsons prediction for this year: Trump's 2024 presidential run. Starting as number 10 on our list is Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. Former U.S. President Donald Trump announced his desire to run for president of the U.S. one more time on November 8, 2024.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
When Trump took to Twitter to make his announcement to rerun for president, there were several controversies. Citizens were looking at the positive and negative of Trump's administrations. Alabama Gene had a different approach to the statement. Alabama Gene, who is the producer of The Simpsons, would post on Twitter a screenshot from one of the episodes released way back from 2024, revealing to everyone that the show had foreseen Trump will be running for the presidency in the year 2024. This prediction happened in the episode named Bart to the Future, in the 17th episode of the 11th season of The Simpsons, whereby Bart Simpson got a glimpse of the future as a failed musician, and his sister Lisa Simpson is the President of the United States. You might be thinking about how and where this scene relates to the show predicting Trump's ambition to rerun for presidency. Well, in the said episode, Homer Simpson is shown in this particular episode flying in the sky as he glides past what seems to be a campaign sign in the background which has Trump 2024 engraved on it. The bizarre part of this particular episode was that this was released on air way before Trump was even president for the first time. Would you say this is another coincidence? Or does the creator of the show know something that we all don't? Interestingly, this was not the first time The Simpsons would predict Trump becoming president. As in a much earlier episode from the year 2000, the show predicted that Donald Trump would become the most powerful person in the world, and also hold the top position in the nation, which is considered to be the most powerful in the world. So, that brings us to the question of how were they able to foresee Trump ever becoming president?
The Simpsons eerily predicted Donald Trump would be president.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
Would this be another one of their prediction that will come to reality? Colonizing Mars, number 9. The Simpsons have predicted the future on several occasions. Another notable event was on March 13, 2016, when the 16 episodes of the 27th season were broadcast. Offering one of the most intriguing forecasts the show has made, the episode named The Marge Ian Chronicle. During this episode, Homer Simpson and his family were presented to participate in a program that would allow them to travel to planets in space. When on the program, the males, which included Bart and Homer, were soon to be useless after 1 week in the program, after enduring a stimulating habit for a week, while Lisa and Marge were able to depict that they both have a high level of expertise, thereby allowing them to continue up until the final selection. The plot took a turn when it was time for takeoff, and the rocket wasn't able to ignite. Unexpectedly, Lisa and Marge were able to travel to planet Mars, although it was shown that this wasn't going to take place until the year 2051. You might be puzzled at this point, thinking about how and where this episode connects to the real world. Do not worry, we will get there eventually. CEO of SpaceX, Elon Musk is known for his wittiness and tenacious behavior of invention and exploring the unknown. It is not news that Elon Musk is on a mission to populate Mars.
But it's possible to establish life as we know it on Mars.
As research has found that the planet is habitable just like Earth, But what several people aren't aware of is that Elon Musk disclosed his intentions to launch the first crewed exportation to Mars in the year 2020. In an interview between Elon Musk and the CEO of Axel Springer SE, Matthias Dafner, in December. During this interview, Elon expressed that SpaceX will at one point be able to send people to Mars in the year 2026. He said if SpaceX were to be lucky, it might even happen in the year 2024. Unfortunately, this didn't happen. In the year 23, Elon disclosed that people interested in the exploration of Mars might have to wait a little longer, as it could take an additional 2 to 3 years before they can visit the red planet. In addition, he disclosed that the construction of his Starship rocket might bring the ability to live on Mars to the forefront of our technological capabilities. This mission has the potential to be the single most monumental accomplishment in the history of humanity. When that happens, the Simpsons will be able to say, "We've told you so." Apple Vision Pro number 8. Over their existence, the Simpsons have been able to prove themselves as a reliable source of predictions. In this listing, the Simpsons have been able to also predict yet another event that has seamlessly come through. Apple Industry, which is well known, has been able to bring up an innovative new product, the Apple Vision Pro 8. This innovation managed to end up being one of yet another prediction from The Simpsons.
A video that has gone viral on social media claims The Simpsons predicted the newly released Apple Vision Pro. And in the clip, characters are seen going about their daily lives. You can see them wearing virtual reality headsets.
On February 2nd, 2024, Apple launched the Vision Pro 8 and made it available to the public. The Apple Pro 8 is a virtual reality headgear that presents users with a wide variety of hyper-realistic simulations and virtual realistic experiences. The Apple Pro 8 can present users with several simulations, such as interactive gaming, whereby the users are immersed in a three-dimensional gaming world, or providing users with a first-hand simulation wildlife experience. The list is endless. But the question is this the first time this product is presented to the entire world? Have we unconsciously come across this and overlooked it? In an episode of The Simpsons titled Friends and Family, denizens of the fictional city of Springfield are seen using devices that appear eerily similar to the Vision Pro. The devices cause chaos in the town as characters lose their sense of space, walking into light poles and falling into manholes. During the prophetic scenes, Mr. Burns recruited Bart, Maggie, Margie, and Lisa to portray his live-in virtual reality family. This was done as a test run for a new headgear that had a striking resemblance to the Vision Pro. This scene made it difficult for viewers to comprehend how The Simpsons could have predicted such a product 6 years before it was released to the public. Is this some sort of voodoo or a planned project? Baby Translator. Next and number 7 on our list is the baby translator. A child trying to speak or actually talking is one of the most precious things in the world to listen to, from how they struggle to pronounce a sentence to when they manage to construct little sentences which at the moment are incomprehensible. Hearing that soft, childish voice would simply put smiles on the face of anyone opportune to hear it. As sweet as that sounds, unfortunately, no one has the idea to be able to understand what these tiny, adorable little humans are trying to say. But what if we were able to? What if it were possible to decipher the babbling of a young child genuinely? This was something The Simpsons anticipated would happen. This event occurred in the closing episode of the 3rd season of the show, titled, "Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?" In this episode, the character Herb Powell, which a number of you are acquainted with, owned a prosperous automobile firm, and was later revealed to be Homer Simpson's hidden brother in the show. Here in this episode, he meets his brother, Homer, and offers him the chance to build his car, which turns out to be a mistake leading to his downfall and making him bankrupt and homeless. Determined to make back his living, Herb wanted to invest in something that was going to make him rich again. While in the park, Herb noticed a mother and her baby, which inspired him to create a device that could translate babies' cries. Since Herb had no money to launch his idea, he asked Homer for a $2,000 check that Homer had received. After tinkering around and with the help of Maggie, Herb managed to build a working model. He demonstrated the machine using Maggie's babbling at the Baby Expo and earned a lot of money. As a display of gratitude towards his brother Homer for lending him the $2,000, He forgave Homer for previously causing him to go bankrupt and gifted him the Spine Melter 2000, a luxury chair Homer wanted to get after Bart and Lisa broke the brown couch. Is this another wacky concept or another forecast to come through? Coincidentally, a business known as Zoundream is working on the goal of making the technology available to everyone. According to the company's website, their proposed technology is going to be of aid to both parents and pediatricians, which will help in deciphering the wants and needs of infants. If everything goes according to plan, we might be able to get a working baby translator before the end of 2024, giving The Simpsons yet another spotlight. World War III number 6.
I was thinking we might want to save my 2014 Joke-A-Day calendar, because the calendar's the same in the year 2031, and we're really going to need some laughs then, after World War China.
We take a leap back in time to November 1987. Here, The Simpsons had just barely begun its second season. The episode, which was actually named World War III, made its way into the air. Although it was disguised as comedy, it still depicted Homer Simpson as he attempted to get his family ready for a third world war. Imagine waking up one morning to the sounds of alarm and bombs dropping outside, only to find out that we've entered World War III. Sounds scary, right? Well, a special episode of The Simpsons that aired on The Tracy Ullman Show in 1987 might have predicted a third world war. The episode didn't quite show us entering a world war, but what if it was a warning? A warning that will doom how the world looks right now and we just seem to overlook it. We have to preceding episodes until they become reality. If we take our time and look at the current geopolitical tensions going on around the world in countries such as Gaza, Ukraine, Syria, Yemen, etc., one can know where we're headed if we should try and solve the puzzle. Several countries have been at war, but that isn't all that has been going on. Surprisingly, China is all set for war. The reason being they want Taiwan to be a part of its territory. The artificial islands, nuclear weapons, bioweapons, and regular worsening conditions of the world are enough to confirm that Homer Simpson wasn't just joking around. Looking at today's scenario, the possibility of a third world war has never been this big. Coupled with the soothsayer, The Simpson, might have accurately predicted it years ago. If you look at it closely, the odds of a world war are getting closer as the day passes by. If it happens, can we survive the outcome? Among all the predictions The Simpsons might have hinted at in their shows, this is one we would all hope to not. Once it does, it is game over for all humans in a matter of days, if not hours. Possibly we are on the edge of a global catastrophe. Can we prevent such a grim fate? Or will this be the end for us humans and our precious planet as we all know it? Black hole number 5. We have the black hole. Another episode of The Simpsons that has been able to accurately predict the future was titled Treehouse of Horror and number 23. Released to the public on October 12, 2012, it was made available to the public. In this episode, the citizens of Springfield gathered to witness the particle accelerator that the municipality had installed. But as soon as the apparatus was activated, two particles collided, thereby resulting in the formation of a miniature black hole, which would later escape. Lisa, Homer Simpson's daughter, had the idea of dragging the black hole home. I know that doesn't make sense, but when has anything made proper sense in The Simpsons? Lisa, with the hope of protecting the black hole from any harm, proceeded to take it back home hoping to contain it. But things only got worse from this point, as instructions were given to the goofy Homer and Bart not to toss anything in it, to stop it from growing. And just as you guessed, these two wouldn't follow the instructions. Homer and Bart even went as far as allowing individuals to dispose of their unwanted items in return for a nominal fee. The black hole hence continued to grow to the extent it started consuming everything in its vicinity, including their town Springfield, and soon the world at large, leaving Maggie alone in the ruined town. In January 2024, India will take its space program to another level by launching ExoSat, a brand new X-ray satellite. Designed to enhance our understanding of the cosmos, supernovae, neutron stars, and black holes included, are some of the cosmic bodies that the ExoSat spacecraft are to investigate, as they are part of its mission. But the question remains thus: are black holes capable of dragging the Earth as exhibited in this episode? Lucky for us, this isn't quite possible, as Earth isn't in danger of being consumed by a black hole, even as there are a great number of them in space. The reason is that the gravitational pull of a black hole is exactly the same size as stars viewed from a great distance, meaning our world is secured from this disaster at least for the time being. Virtual reality food number 4. Virtual reality food. If you thought the Apple Vision Pro 8 is the only virtual reality shown in the seasons of The Simpsons, then you have a lot of catch-up to do. In Season 11 of Episode 17, accurately titled Virtual Reality Food. In this episode, Homer and Marge can be seen indulging in a virtual reality dining experience with the help of headgear and straws, through which they receive a fudge that surprisingly would taste like anything they would imagine.
It's kind of a surprising idea to many people that the sounds that you hear, say from your mobile device, could change the taste of the food just like the salt and pepper shaker could.
This was a perfect mix of technology and fantasy. Could this be real? Are we on the verge of experiencing yet another groundbreaking innovation? As the world advances and we're getting digitally inclined with time, is it possible to transfer our meals to digital delicacies? The answer is yes. Aerobanquet's RMX is a company promising culinary experience like you've never had. Imagine being able to dine in places you've wished and eating foods you've always imagined. For instance, a 5-star meal in the bowels of the ocean, practically enjoying a culinary experience. The mastermind behind this innovation is Mattia Casalengo, along with a team of professional chefs. Dining in their virtual world isn't just about the food, it also includes the experiences. Interested customers pay a nominal fee of $125 for 7 different bite courses, whereby with every bite they're transferred into a different world. As interesting as it sounds, this technology still has voids to fill as it hasn't attained its maximum features, for this experience is eligible to only 4 people at a time. Aerobanquets might not have reached where a lot of you might have wanted it to be, but at the moment we must appreciate the innovation and hope it picks up, which we believe it would. Because have a look around your environment and take note of the influence of virtual reality and how fast it's spreading. It's only a matter of time before we're entirely leaving in the futuristic digital world we all imagined. And when it does, remember, The Simpsons said it first, as they've done to preceding events. Female presidency number 3. The female presidency. On January 20th of 2021, Kamala Harris was sworn in as Vice President of the United States of America.
For a very brief period today, the nation had its first female president. Kamala Harris assumed the reins of power while President Biden was undergoing a colonoscopy,
making her the first woman and African American to achieve this feat. Will this end here? Is it also possible in the subsequent year? The creators of The Simpsons are of the idea that is possible in the 17th episode of Season 11, named Bart to the Future, where Bart saw himself as a failed artist and his sister claiming her seat as the first female president of the United States previously held by Trump? Is this just The Simpsons being goofy? Or another hint as to what might be the United States' fate at one point? Although this was released during election season in the United States, many citizens wish that this imagination someday turn into reality sooner. Although there have been several women who have had eyes on the presidency seat before now, the first ever being Victoria Woodhull, who made history in year 1872 as the first female to ever run for the office. Woodhull was the first woman to ever set her sight on the country's highest seat of power, although she didn't eventually win, but her motives and campaign subsequently paved the way for other industrious and ambitious women in the country. As of today, Nikki Haley is the recent woman to declare her intention to run for the presidency. We can't accurately predict the outcome of the coming election and how the course of events will eventually go. However, if The Simpsons are once again correct, and it so happens that the United States of America happens to elect a woman as its president, it will be in the records as one of the most significant events recorded in the history of the country and of the world at large. AI takeover number 2 is AI takeover. In the 23rd season of the 17th episode, The Simpsons have been able to make yet another accurate prediction. The episode revolved around Homer Simpson and his boss, Bern, As they embark on an adventure together, Burns had received advice from his attorney that his human employees were causing him to lose more money. Mr. Burns, upon hearing this, will make a rapid decision to terminate all of his staff's contracts and relieve them of their work to replace them with autonomous machines, thereby increasing the town's unemployment rate to around 99%. Homer Simpson was lucky and kept for the position of keeping up with the robots' maintenance. At some point in the future, the robots turned against the humans in an attempt to kill both Homer and Burns. Luckily, these two would be rescued by the citizens of Springfield. Well, that was how the story had ended for the citizens of Springfield. In reality, those of us in the real world have to deal with this, knowing this could eventually be our case at some point, seeing the recent developments of AI, robots, and machines. These artificial machines have at some point been able to prove they can overtake our jobs, replace us, and do our work effectively with little or no supervision compared to us.
AI will replace humans. AI can replace a few tasks for a certain worker, but it doesn't have to be all.
Raising a famous question: will artificial intelligence be able to fully replace us in our workplace? And when they do, should we also have the fear of them being able to take over our planets like it has been shown in several movies, with The Simpsons having to depict it on a few occasions? And will 2024 become the year artificial intelligence turns against us? You might start to think when this artificial intelligence is designed, there should be safety measures employed to keep them intact. And yes, you're right. Safety measures have in fact been employed, but recently a research study was able to reveal that certain artificial intelligence systems are able to withstand these safety measures, disregarding their training, putting us in a risky position. Hologram technology. Finally, number 1 on our list, which I assume you all have been anticipating, is hologram technology. From making predictions about virtual reality meals to providing translators for babies, the show has maintained its consistency in being accurate the majority of the time about significant events happening around the world. This particular topic completely takes things to another level. In the 9th episode of the 34th season of the program, one of the characters, Bart Simpson, is shown to be a musician who at that point is experiencing a string of bad luck. Although the rest of the episode continued on a much humorous and shenanigans note, a particular scene stood out. It began with Bart being invited to a party by a mailman, which some people would think he did so through perhaps letters and posters. But no, it was a hologram invitation, and this was the part that significantly stood out in this episode. Coincidentally, a business known as Holo Connects is working on what is close to our discussion. Andre Smith, the chief executive officer of HoloConnect, is designing the HoloBox. This new incredible invention is being created to bring people together regardless of the distance that separates them. With this, we could say this reality might become ubiquitous perhaps this year, leaving us with the question, how does the HoloBox work? The HoloBox is designed to resemble in size to a phone booth. Here, the desired person you're speaking to would be displayed on the HoloBox. Mind-blowing, right? This isn't even the most impressive component of this technology. The HoloBox only needs 2 things for effective functioning, which are a stable internet connection and an uninterrupted power supply. With this, it is possible that by the year 2024,
we could beam anybody in 4K volumetric resolution in under a second anywhere in the world.
Holographic technology, including the HoloBox, will become widespread. We can only know for sure by just having to wait and see if this will be effectively designed and implemented. And when that happens, it wouldn't be bizarre to think that the Simpsons might be traveling to the future as suspected, or there's a cabal strongly behind this. The Simpsons might just be a comedy show for most people, but the truth is, they have been consistent with questionable predictions. Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments section, and while at it, like and subscribe for more content like this.